Hey, well, we are pulling out of site 383 here at Mesa Verde. Whew. And next stop is going to be the dump station. We're going to dump and we're going to get water. And then we have to stop and get our receipts. Then we can get on the road. Oh, there's another new neighbor that wasn't there last night. Huh. Oh no, that's the one. Yeah, that was a rental. I let Kit run loose because there hadn't been anybody down there. And Barb was down by the dumpster throwing her trash away. So he went tearing down the road after her, and then I realized there was another camper there and really should have had him on the leash. So we did. Alrighty, so today is Tuesday, June the 24th. It is 9:47 in the morning and about 70 degrees outside. Pretty perfect. And this must be the trailhead for the Knife Edge Trail, which I never got to walk from this end, but we did walk a little bit of it yesterday morning when we were doing our driving tour, which was quite a lot of fun. So today we've got a long list of errands to run, and we're planning to go see a national monument that we haven't seen before and didn't even know existed. And then we're going to camp near there, we think, because we're going to be pretty tired by the time we get there. It's going to be about 2 hours of driving, but you know, there's errand running involved, and that always takes up a lot of time.
Wake up with the sun in our eyes. Sally forth, no need for goodbyes. Journey calls, let's roll the dice. Every mile a new surprise.
Okay, well, here we go. We turned in our registration, and we're gonna be on our way. So we got about 5 miles to get back out of the park. And Barb had said this was one of the top things on her bucket list for like the last 15 years. So she's really glad to have gotten to do all of the things that we got to do. And I feel like short of doing the paid tours, which I didn't object to paying for, but I objected to the tours themselves, either by length of time having to leave Kid alone, well, not either.
4 miles. Turn right, US 160 East.
Both by the length of time having to leave Kid alone, and by the difficulty of the tours. I mean, just all of the in and out and these little short hikes we did yesterday, my foot and ankle were both pretty unhappy by the time we got back. And so for me, I think that's been my biggest walking day since I took the boot, well, since I broke my foot in February, because I walked well over 4 miles yesterday. And we're doing it at elevation. Look at that view. Just look at it. And look at how they're holding up the side of the hill here so that the road doesn't slide off. That's a little scary. Wow. Just spectacular. I started to look at the elevation, and then we got on this curvy part of the road, so can't do that. 78.53 right now. The highest point in the park was 85.40 something, I think. And that was probably 20 miles by road from where we camped, further into the park. So, pro tip, if you can get into the park campground, do it. You know, it was $20 for dry camping, but from the campground, you really still have to drive like basically another 20 miles before you start seeing things. And so we left about 9:30 yesterday morning, and we didn't get back until like 4:30 yesterday afternoon. And for the second loop, we were only I think we only stopped one time in the second loop just because we were tired and it was getting late. So there were a couple more stops that we could have done. One was for Cliff House, one was for Balcony House, and in both cases, the overlook showed you the canyon, but Cliff House and Balcony House were directly beneath you, so you weren't really going to see the ruins that you were there to see. So we didn't bother stopping for either of those. And in a few places, the parking was a little bit difficult. And again, pro tip, we took Barb's RV instead of mine. She's only 25 feet long, I'm 28, and she can get away with parking in a regular parking place where I can't. So some of the stops had RV parking and some of them didn't. Wow. Pretty spectacular. Just realized there was a pull out there that I could have used back up the hill. But I only have a couple of people stacked up behind me. I'm almost doing the speed limit. And I was really more adhering to the sign that says no stopping for parking during this 3-mile stretch because of rock slides. So there's that. What a spectacular view though, huh? Taking a lot more braking than I would really prefer here. I think we're getting close to the end. We got 1.6 miles until we get out of here.
My dog kids sitting by my side.
Okay, here's the park entrance. Look at all these people waiting to get in. So yeah, it's 10:30 now. Some of these people are going to be having a long day. And it's kind of interesting to see this because oh, and here's where you have to drop off your vehicle if you're towing something, or your trailer if you're driving a truck and don't have a reservation in the campground. But convenient that they put it there for you, because they sure as don't want all of those big vehicles up there. We're still descending, but we're down to 7,000 feet now. The visitor center is over here to the right, although we haven't come to the turnoff for it yet. And I guess it's worth mentioning, our original plan had been to go from Durango up to Silverton and do the $1 Million Highway. But if we do that, then in order to get to where we want to be, we have to go up to Montrose, and there's a fire burning up there right now, and we decided we did not want to drive toward a fire. So when we were out and about yesterday, another visitor at Mesa Verde said she had decided to take another day off from work and knock out a second national park. I said, what was the other one? And she said that was Great Sand Dunes. So we're going to head toward Great Sand Dunes. And then see how far we get from there. So, and after Great Sand Dunes, we've got the Royal Gorge Bridge. And then Coruscant Fossil Beds, and then I think we get to Colorado Springs where I can get my new computer and get busy editing. Yay!
20 minutes later.
Well, at about 3 miles, we're down to 6,900 feet from, what was it, 8,500? It's been a pretty steep descent, actually. But look at this beautiful canyon we're going through. How nice is this? National Forest access, Dry Fork Road, to the left coming up here. I've been seeing those all along the roadway today, and I think that's really the first time I've ever seen those kinds of signs. So kind of cool. Well, here we are in Durango proper. So 550 is the $1 Million Highway, and I can't remember now if it starts out of Durango, if it starts out of Silverton and goes to Ouray. Ouray? I don't know how you say that. Ouray? O-U-R-A-Y. But as I said, we're not going to be doing that. Oh, little raindrops. We got little itsy bitsy raindrops, kid. I have a feeling this is going to be fairly tight for parking though, so we'll see how this goes. Okay. We switched it up a little. As you can see, we are no longer at Natural Grocers. Boy, that was a tight parking lot. In fact, that parking lot was so tight that Barb couldn't find a place to park there and ended up parking across the street. So when we're checking out, she says, "Hey, would you drive me back to my rig? Because it was really busy road and no crosswalk or anything." I'm like, "Yeah, okay." But meanwhile, I looked up and found a ramen shop. So rather than taking her directly to her rig, we came over here to the ramen shop together. That way we only had to park one instead of two. And now we're returning to the scene of the, well, it wasn't a crime, but where we started. So Barb can pick up her rig, we can move on to Walmart. We're gonna skip Home Depot after all, and then after Walmart, our next stop will be at the Visitor Center for the Chimney Rock National Monument, which I didn't even know existed until this morning. So I'm pretty excited about that. Well, here we are. Chimney Rock National Monument. Open. 9 a.m. to 4:30. People and place. Alright, here we are at site number 11. It's the Kivas. We tried to go to the Great House, but it's greater than we are. It's very steep, pretty long way off, and the monument actually, we got to be out of here by 4 o'clock, so not really going to be able to get that done. So, we're going to see the Kivas and call it good. Still worth coming though. Come on.
That camper?
By the roadway there? Yeah, that one's hers, mine's in the parking lot.
Y'all braver than I am.
Well, we figured we'd only bring one of them up here.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Pretty cool. Here we are at the Great Kiva, which to me, looking at it upside down, maybe I can turn the video around, looks like it says Lu, L starting on the right, O in the middle, and U on the end, even though the top's filled in. This Great Kiva was built between 994 and 1084 AD. I know I'm saying that backwards, but that's the way I was brought up. A Great Kiva is one that's greater than 35 feet in diameter. That was new to me. The Chimney Rock Great Kiva is 44 feet across. Most are built underground, but here on the mesa, the bedrock is near the surface, thus requiring the Kiva to be built above ground. Okay, interesting. And, oh, it's a holy feather holder. Is that like having a comfy pillow from Monty Python? Look at that pretty view down there. That's gorgeous. All right, so I walked up here to this next spot. And now I'm going to pull up to it, and I think I'm going to walk a little further. And see what's up around the corner. see what I can do about getting in here. Missed. Alright, go doing a dance here. I just turned around. Barb's turning around now. You see the stuff on the windshield? That's rain. And we don't know how much rain we're likely to be getting. So we're gonna head for Pagosa Springs. I mean, the rain may turn out to be nothing, but we don't know that. So this is what we're gonna do. That was a big bump. Let's not do it quite that fast. Plenty of dirt on my windshield. Enjoying the view? And part of the issue is, this right here is a wash, and I don't want to be beyond the wash and then find out we can't get back out of here tomorrow because we got other things to do. So, that's the story. Discretion is the better part of valor. It was worth trying. But today we're going to call not happening for that. Alright, so.
In a quarter mile, turn right onto Colorado 151 East.
So we're only half an hour from Pagosa Springs.
We're the ultimate guide. Rolling freedom, feeling the breeze.
Alright, we'll figure out where we end up. There was a wildlife bridge that just went over the road. That was pretty cool. And I have seen some of their wildlife fencing. Not every place is fenced, but a lot of them are. So we're about 15 miles from Pagosa Springs. And I'm also keeping an eye out in case we see another Forest Service campground marked as a campground, in which case we'll give that a try. But we really don't want to do a whole lot of exploring on unknown roads today at this point, because it's although it's only 4:35, it's pretty dark looking, isn't it? And I just didn't want to take a chance on getting stuck on the wrong side of that wash if the rain turned out to be a gully washer. And you can see how wet the pavement is here. So the rain seems to be hitting in sporadic bursts in somewhat different locations. We'll work on figuring this out. Welcome to Pagosa Springs, world's deepest hot springs. Huh. Maybe we can find some springs to hot in. That'd be cool. I'll almost go park there. So we're going to pull into the Walmart and then figure out where we can go stay tonight. But based on this amount of rain, I'm really glad we decided not to stay on the other side of the wash. Stop, Kit. This is too sloped for me.
and then just take the first thing that comes available?
We got to go fairly far out of town to do that, I think. Let me look again.
Turkey Springs dispersed camping in Pagosa, near Pagosa Springs. Let me see where we go. It's 23 minutes away, 12 miles.
Yeah, and I see one here that is not far off the road that says 20 minutes away, 11 miles.
I wonder if that's the same thing, Turkey Springs Campground.
Take a look at the link I just texted you. It's going in the right direction. Tell me, look on like the satellite view and tell me what you think.
Yeah, I got it. Now let's just go ahead and go for it.
All right, hopefully it's good. All right, well that was another failure. We went up the road about almost a mile, found a spot that would have been good. All right, so we're going 15 miles, 19 minutes according to Google. So yeah, utter failure. I pulled into the site and the site would have been great, but with all the rain, it was slicker than snot. And when I was started to brake, I started skidding. Pretty scary. And I skidded trying to back out of there. So we came back on down the mountain. And now we're going to try another spot. Now, guys, 55 degrees. Damn it. I saw the sign, no overnight parking. That wasn't what we were aiming for, but I just wanted to check it out. Wow! Wow! We're up to almost 8,200 feet. Wow. 8,500 feet.
On four wheels, nothing to please. Scenic views and skies of blue. Adventures here, just me and...
Well, this is definitely not my favorite kind of driving, even though the views are spectacular. My ears are totally closed up, and look at all the crap washed across the road from how heavy the rain's been. I'm almost thinking when we get up to the top here, we might have to, I might want to push to go ahead and come down the other side, just because I don't want to get stuck up here and have it turn to snow. And the temperature's continuing to drop.
My dog kid sitting by my side, exploring the country far and wide.
I guess I've heard of Wolf Creek Pass. sure. I've never been here. I think this is all new territory for me.
Please, scenic views and skies of blue. Adventures here just.
We're passing the Continental Divide. We are at 10,837 feet. No overnight parking. Oh, that says October to April. So I guess we could be, but it's down to 45 degrees. We're at almost 11,000 feet. I'm kind of in favor of just getting down the other side before we stop.
Okay, so how far away is it for the one you were thinking of?
Like a third of a mile, it says.
Oh, you want to keep going?
I want to keep going all the way down the mountain. I think it's cold up here. I don't want to wake up in the morning and find out we got snowed on.
No problem.
Are you sure that's okay?
Yep, sure is.
All right. So let me look for another trajectory before we head down, so we have something that we're aiming for. Okay, there's a Conoco gas station 19 miles further on. iOverlander said it had nice clean bathrooms and they saw big rigs parked in the back. I think we can make that, and that might be where we're staying. So this site over here on the left was where we were thinking about parking, but man, that looks pretty unlevel. Alright, well, we're going to work on getting down this mountain now. I think we'll just see you at the bottom. GoPro, stop recording. Alright, well, look at this. They call this a snow shed. And they say it's a tight curve. 30-mile-an-hour speed limit. Okay, well, this is crazy. And I guess we might as well talk a little philosophy on the way down the road here. Because quite frankly, I'm fairly scared. I mean, I don't feel like I'm out of control in any way, but I'm going pretty damn slow. And what scares me are these sight lines. And it's not terrible. This really is not terrible for me, but it's not great. These steep drop-offs, yeah, they make me very uncomfortable. But one of the things that I know for sure is that any kind of growth requires getting comfortable with being uncomfortable. And so for that reason, I pushed my limits. And if I didn't, there's an awful lot I would miss out on. There are certain things I won't do, but for everything else, just push it a little further. And because intrinsically I know people travel this road all the time, it's perfectly safe. I get that. And yet it doesn't feel safe for me. And that's where the scary part is, because it doesn't feel safe, even though I know that it is. So we're just going to take it nice and slow all the way down, and we're going to end up doing the thing that I like the least, which is sleeping in a gas station parking lot. But oh well. It really seems like the most prudent choice in this day of failed attempts at boondocking. And I guess that's important to understand too, guys. When something doesn't feel right, don't do it. And that's kind of what it's been like. We've been to the first place we thought we were going to go, and I would have been a-okay with that if it was not for the fact that we were going to wind up on the wrong side of a wash in a rainstorm. That just didn't seem like good planning to me. And then then when we got to the next one, that was pretty scary. I've never slid this rig before. And when I started sliding in that mud, it's like, nope, I'm not going up any higher because I'm pretty sure all the rest of these places are going to be just like this. So let's go find something else. And then I found the one that was up at the top of the pass there. And again, because of the rain, I'm not feeling real safe spending the night up there and having it potentially turn into snow. So, the good news in all of this is that we're making a lot more miles today than we thought we were going to. Yes, we're now up to, I've got 165 miles on the clock. I think I only had 35, so I think we've done about 135 miles now. And once we finally do get stopped, I'm going to figure out, you know, what's going to be happening over the next day or so. Pretty beautiful though, huh? We're still over 9,000 feet, by the way, in elevation. So there's that. And hey, as always, thanks for listening to my ramblings. My hope is that, you know, you'll maybe find some little nugget that will resonate with you and spark something to take the next step on your journey. Yeah. But always trust your gut when it comes to where you're going to camp. Well, always trust your gut anyway. If something feels wrong, it probably is wrong. Pretty simple. Must be another chain-up area here on the left. Oh, and now we're going through a tunnel. Awesome sauce. Drive with caution. Yes, I am. This one is not advertised as a snow shed. This is just a tunnel through the mountain. Tunnel, just in case you weren't aware. Looks like there's a bypass road. Oh, it's not a super long tunnel. It is a little curvy though. Look at these rocks. These rocks rock. It's stuff like this that makes it worth it to me to push past my fears. Guardrail damage. Wonder who got into that. That might have left a mark. Lake Fork Trailhead parking. Okay. Oh, signboards over there. I wonder if that was like a way station or something. Road narrows, next 4 miles. Yeah, I want to get off this mountain. If it hadn't been, you know, pouring down rain and it was warmer, being way up there would be awesome. It's a beautiful creek. Hopefully that's showing up for you. It's on the right hand side if you need to know where to look. close the edge of the drop-off is to the road. And now it's not too bad. But it was like right up at the edge of the pavement. So I'm crowding the center line a little. Must be another trailhead. A picnic area or something. I saw a picnic table there. And my throat's all scratchy again because I'm out of water. But we got less than 10 miles to go to the gas station. And we need to gas up, so there's that. That's a nice big rock. We're down to 8,600 feet, by the way. And I wasn't going to bring you all the way down the mountain, but it's pretty pretty. Pretty pretty. Well, this is going to be a ridiculous amount of editing. I keep wanting to stop, but you know, like look at that bridge over there. Just look at it. Wonder how low it's going to go. We're down to like 84, 85 right now.
And skies of blue, adventures here, just me and you. Campfires, glowing stars above, found our peace in things we love.
Alright, we're only about 5.5 miles to the Conoco gas station. Is it Conoco or Conoco? It's Sunoco. I wonder if it's Conoco. I wonder if they're related. Perhaps I'll remember to ask. But I doubt it. But isn't that just gorgeous? Look at this. Welcome to South Fork, Colorado. Silver Thread Scenic and Historic something. Yeah, I think we need to call it a day because it's starting to get late. It's after 7 o'clock and we don't want to be driving in the dark for sure. It's okay, Kit. Yeah, I figure I might as well. Looks like there might only be 2 pumps open though. Oh, no fuel. That's pretty funny.
Wherever we're gonna stay.
Well, we were thinking about here, but you know, I don't know. Well, I guess we're gonna sleep in a parking lot tonight. So there's that. We'll figure out what happens tomorrow later.